The 2025 MotoGP season has already served up unforgettable moments. However, what happened at the Brno Sprint wasn't just another race. It was a masterclass in high-stakes strategy, technical brilliance, and the fine line between genius and disaster. It was a roller coaster, with fans gripping the edge of their seats and commentators holding their breath. Yes, Marc Márquez claimed his 11th sprint victory of the season, but the road to that win? It was anything but straightforward. He nearly lost everything to a single rule, the front tire pressure regulation. The race started like a script written for Ducati. Marquez snatched the lead from Francesco Bagnaia in turn 3, setting up what looked like a controlled Ducati 1-2. But then, something strange happened. Bagnaia slowed down. Then Marquez did too, voluntarily. It wasn't a blunder, but a desperate reaction to MotoGP's now infamous tire pressure rule. Riders must spend at least 60% of the race with a front tire pressure above 1.8 bar. Failure to comply results in a brutal penalty: 8 seconds in a sprint, 16 in a whole race. Bagnaia was the first to see the warning flash on his dashboard. His front tire pressure had dropped below the limit. In a desperate attempt to raise it, he let Pedro Acosta pass, hoping to heat his tire in the KTM slipstream. But instead of fixing the problem, it only made things worse. Contact with Enea Bastianini, a pass from Fabio Quartararo, and a pressure that refused to climb all unraveled fast. By the time he crossed the finish line in 7th place, Bagnaia was drained and convinced he'd receive a penalty. But then came the twist. No penalty was issued. Confused, Bagnaia returned to the garage and checked the data. To his shock, he had never dropped below the legal pressure. It wasn't rider error, it was a faulty dashboard warning, caused by a last-minute electronic glitch. Ducati had rushed to reconfigure Bagnaia's dashboard before the race, and in that scramble, a corrupted setting triggered a false alarm that derailed his entire strategy. Meanwhile, Marquez was playing the same game, but with cooler nerves. He said, "I was comfortable, but then I saw the pressure was dropping. I tried braking harder to heat it up, but it was too risky, so I tucked in behind Pedro Acosta, waited for the pressure to rise, then made my move." And that's precisely what he did, biding his time until his dashboard said go, then passing Pedro Acosta on the penultimate lap to retake the lead and win the race. But the celebration was short-lived. After the race, Marquez was informed that he was under investigation for a tire pressure violation. In Parc Fermé, he had smiled and said he was confident everything was fine. Now, he wasn't so sure. In a rare post-race twist, MotoGP stewards issued a statement. Marquez, Renz, and Ogura had been wrongly flagged due to a calibration error in Race Direction's tire pressure monitoring system. The rider's data was accurate, the official system was not. Once again, Marquez's race IQ helped him survive a potentially championship-crushing moment. Just like in Buriram earlier this year, he'd let someone pass to bring up the pressure, then retake the lead once he was back in the safe zone. And just like then, it worked. With the newly resurfaced Brno circuit offering massive grip, front tires weren't being stressed enough. Add in the lack of dry running on Friday, and teams were flying blind on setup. Tire pressures across the grid skated dangerously close to the minimum. This win stretched Marquez's lead in the championship to 95 points over his brother Alex and 156 points over Bagnaia. He's missed only one sprint win all season, Silverstone, a level of dominance few expected in 2025. For Bagnaia, it was another brutal chapter in a season marked by bad luck and missed chances. Still, he managed to stay positive. "I'm strangely happy," he said. "I fought for pole. I got it. I followed Marc. For the first time, I understood more. That was important." Pedro Acosta quietly secured another podium, riding composure and expecting Marquez to retake the lead. Enea Bastianini showed racecraft and tenacity by holding off Marco Bezzecchi and grabbing a podium of his own. But one of the standout stories of the sprint? Fabio Quartararo. Riding an underpowered Yamaha, he finished 5th, beating both factory Ducatis on raw pace. A powerful reminder that in tricky conditions, Quartararo's talent can still shine. "Imagine him on a competitive Yamaha," one fan wrote, and many agreed. Off the track, the tire pressure debate exploded. MotoGP legend Carl Fogarty slammed the rule on X. "It's a joke. Who cares what pressure you run?" Marquez, meanwhile, defended the safety rule, but admitted the penalties might be too harsh. He said, "Maybe it's too much. Maybe cut it in half." He emphasized how much pressure teams now face from racing, electronics, calibration, and constant system checks. Technically, the rule makes sense. Low pressure increases the risk of tire carcass failure, especially under braking. But in practice, it's chaotic. The rule is invisible, unforgiving, and riders can't even see the official system. They rely on team dashboards, which, like Bagnaia's, can fail. I hope that Michelin's new 140mm front tire coming in 2026 will help. And with Pirelli taking over in 2027, changes are guaranteed. But for now, riders are stuck playing a high-risk game of pressure roulette. In a race that could have derailed his entire championship, Marquez didn't just survive, he thrived. He read the race, trusted his instincts, and executed a masterstroke of pressure management that almost flew under the radar. This is why he's still the best. As one insider put it, he's not just fast, he's clever under fire. And as long as Marquez is racing like this, the rest of the grid will stay under pressure on every lap, every corner, and every millibar. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats because Marc Márquez is still an unstoppable force, at least through the sprint race here in Brno, Czech Republic in this electrifying 2025 MotoGP weekend. From the first lap of this 10-lap lightning sprint, the man they call the baby alien exploded off the grid. Starting from second, Marquez wasted no time snatching the lead from his teammate, pole sitter Francesco Bagnaia, in an opening move that had the grandstands roaring. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Oh no! Midway through the race, Marquez felt something wasn't right. A strange sensation in the tire pressure began to mess with his rhythm, and for a moment, just a moment, it looked like he might lose his grip on the lead. But this is Marquez, 8-time world champion, a gladiator on 2 wheels. He reset, recalibrated, and charged forward once again. And just when Red Bull KTM's young prodigy, Pedro Acosta, thought he had the win in sight, boom! In the final 2 laps, Marquez turned on the afterburners and slashed past Acosta in a move with fans on their feet and hearts pounding through their chests. Across the line he went, victory in the Czech sprint race. But even with the win sealed, Marquez wasn't celebrating just yet. His expression focused, eyes forward. You could feel the tension. He said this was just a sprint. The main race, that's another beast. Despite the triumph, the 32-year-old veteran knows the real war is still to come. The full-length race looms large, and Marquez, ever the perfectionist, is already calculating every variable. Still, he admitted the heavy rain that poured down during Friday's practice might be a blessing in disguise. Could it be the wild card that plays into his hands? All we know is if today was the appetizer, tomorrow's primary race will be an all-out brawl.